going down, fuck the world, I'm a thug. Tell him, can't nothing stop me but a slug.
All right, anyway, so here's what happened with Masvidal and Bisping. Now, the beef apparently comes from when Bisping tore up or did something with the Cuban flag, right? Romero's flag. And then he was ducking Romero and all that. And then today they ran into each other somewhere outside an elevator and started going back and forth, cussing each other out and shit. And at the very end of that video, now I didn't know about this shit because I didn't watch the whole video. I was like, okay, they're just cussing each other out, whatever. All right, they're not going to fight nothing. But someone told me that he said faggot at the very end. He called Bisping a faggot, right?
Yeah, he did. I heard that.
Yeah. So,
I didn't hear that. I was listening,
I heard
but I couldn't fucking hear it.
It's
It was literally like the last second of the video.
Really?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. So I had to go back and watch it again just to hear it. And I'm like, holy shit, he says faggot. Like, woof. Right? And so the first thing people start talking about is how come he's not getting shit if Conor got a bunch of shit and Bisping got a bunch of shit when he did it too. All right. But I don't know. The whole thing's weird. Fred, what do you think about that whole thing? It's just, no. I get the beef, but still.
What do you mean? What do I think about Jorge using that word, what do I think about?
Let's go with that, and then overall, the whole fucking bullshit.
I mean, listen, man. As far as that word go, it's one of those things where, like, I understand. You know what I'm saying? Like, I kind of get. I mean, listen. Things are different now than they were when I was younger. That word. Now, listen. He said it in a fucking like an aggressive, demeaning manner. But like I've used that word before, not in the context that it's supposed, not as a homophobic slur towards gay men. You know what I'm saying? So to that degree, I mean, listen, if you're asking me, do I think that Conor McGregor is a homophobe? I do not. Do I think that Jorge Masvidal is a homophobe or has something against gay people? I highly doubt it. I really don't think so. It's just an old habits die hard thing. I think, honestly, like I don't think he just meant to call him a bitch. Sometimes you can't keep saying bitch or pussy because then you sound like an idiot. Sometimes you got to go faggot.
That's what it means down here in the South.
Hey, listen, that's what it means everywhere. That's what it means in Ireland. That it's what I don't know, man. Because I am kind of a liberal snowflake. I do get it. I get why gay men don't like motherfuckers using that word, and it's fucking offensive to them. So I understand that. On the same token, Jesus Christ, man, we're gonna get our fucking pitchforks every time somebody. They're fucking fighters, for Christ's sakes. They ain't like they're known for their fucking eloquence.
Exactly.
Let's just call a spade, man. If you really thought he was a homophobe, we'd have something to talk about. But I don't think he was. I think he was just trying to call him a bitch. Now that that's out of the way, I fucking love it. Bisping's one of my favorite fighters right now, man. Yep. Every time I see that prick, he's doing something he shouldn't be or getting into some kind of shit. I mean, I love this kind of shit.
And Masvidal's just fucking real. He is what he is.
I mean, they probably will never fight, but it's like the fucking Nick Diaz Rampage thing in Vegas. I don't know whether that was set up or not, but it's fun.
That was set up.
I'm down with it. Either way.
Yeah, is Jesse talking? Because this is gonna be funny. I can't hear him.
No,
no, I'm not talking.
Oh shit! I can hear him. Hold up, talk again.
He wasn't talking.
Say something again, Jesse.
What's up, Ed? Can you hear me now?
Holy shit! You're fucking alive, dude.
No, Eddie.
Fuck.
You're alive, my dude. We've been alive, and he's been talking.
All right, dude, I don't fucking get this shit. Go Hangouts. All right, let's. But Jesse, with this whole thing with first Conor gets a whole lot of shit for it. Masvidal, as far as social media, he didn't get very much shit. All the clickbait and all that shit is all about fucking altercation between Bisping and Masvidal, and then nothing about the fact that he said faggot. But all the Conor ones were about that. What do you think is the difference there? Why do you think that Conor gets more heat than Masvidal does?
I think you were onto something when what was it on the Heel Hook show earlier today, where you said that it's because of his popularity. I think if he has the far-reaching, Reebok sponsorship, some like Coca-Cola sponsorship, that's where people start having the problems with you using these words. I honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't understand why is it such a problem when somebody uses these words in the context that they're used in. Kind of like how you guys alluded to when Bisping was going back and forth with Rockhold, and he called him a faggot. Right away, Bisping was like, I shouldn't have said that. But is that really like a big deal? Like, honestly, are we watching him call a gay man a faggot? Like, you know, is he insulting a gay man in front of him? He's not. He's talking to another dude, and he's just trying to basically like coax him into doing something, into an action, right? It's kind of the same thing as if, like, you know, when Bisping, you know, when he spit into what was it? Was George, whatever his name is, corner?
Riviera,
yeah. Jorge.
Yeah, there you go.
Jorge.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It was to incite a reaction. It wasn't like, you know, he's trying to, you know, do this like horrible thing to them or anything. It's trying to incite an action from them. And I think none of these guys should really be penalized for this stuff. I understand. And Fred, you can go ahead and like tell me like how wrong I am about this, but I don't see how it's bad that these guys every once in a while flash off a little word here and there. You know, if like someone calls somebody a cunt or a faggot or any of those things, I mean, I don't see it as being a bad thing. Now, if they're specifically aiming at a community of people and they're, you know, using those words to describe them, or using the word retard to describe a person that's mentally, you know, deficient or anything like that, then I could see where people have a problem. But if it's just like an insult is an insult, man, I don't see where all these things are just getting so out of control. I mean, what was it, Eddie? You would know. Somebody from the NFL earlier was talking about how when we were young, we used to play a game called Smear the Queer. You can't play that game. You can't play that game by that name anymore, but you can still play the game. I mean, it's not meant to be like in how people take it, man.
We're getting into a little of a political area here, but I mean, listen, just because we grew up with it and it was all right when we grew up with it, don't make it right. I mean, motherfuckers used to have slaves about 90 years ago, and I don't think we can be like, hey, man, that's just the way it was when we was coming up.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Some things kind of need to change. And Smear the Queer fucking sucked for the record. I was always the queer.
I was about to say, were you the one? Because that was that for you.
Playing with all fucking black kids that were bigger and faster than me. Used to hit me so goddamn hard, I'd fucking wake up the next day.
That's not to jump subjects, but it kind of goes along with what we're talking about here. What about the Kobe Covington thing? Is that worse?
Oh, wait, we basically said everyone.
I mean, what he
is it worse? Is it worse? No, it's not worse. But man, you do that shit in Brazil? God damn,
man.
Hey, right quick, Eddie. Right quick. Hold on one second while we're talking about Mr. Kobe. How many viewers we got watching right now?
We keep flowing between like 10 and like 15. We're going back and forth.
Kobe Covington, if you're watching, don't be dodging the Hawk MMA show, my dog. You done send me 2 messages, then sent me your number. I done called your fucking ass. I done texted your fucking ass. Pick up the phone, buddy. Nothing to worry about tomorrow.
There you go. All right. Yeah, but the thing with Brazil, man, he just basically shit talked the entire country. But they did fucking, you know, kind of let him have it. Right?
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. I'm giving if you are watching Kobe, you will probably never want to speak to me again because I am coining you Kobe Cheese Covington. Because quite frankly, in the words of GSP, I was not impressed.
No.
Performance, and I wasn't impressed with that bullshit afterwards. Now, I'll tell you this, it fucking worked. I'll give you that. People are fucking stupid, man. And it worked like a fucking goddamn fucking card trick. Everybody's talking about Kobe Covington. He literally took the play right out of Chael Sonnen fucking handbook.
Oh, yeah.
Right down to the race of people. He fucking I mean, at least you have
the new Red Penny night.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of a little cheesy in that regard, to be honest, because we've heard this shtick about Brazil. I almost wish he would have done it about Connor in Ireland, or I don't give a fuck, one of the Polish pricks or something. We haven't heard those jokes or those like Chael literally did this. So, I mean, listen, I can hate all I want. It worked. I'll say that. Yeah. Like he got he won the fight and he got the notoriety that he was looking for. But quite frankly, it rubbed me the wrong way.
What if that shit was in the States or in the United States, or somebody pulled that shit like a Brazilian fighter? Would the backlash be any different? Hell fucking yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, you know, hometown pride and all like that. I suppose. Obviously, it'd be a little different.
Did y'all
I'd
catch
like
his
that
interview
more
with
than this.
Ariel when he said somebody knocked at his door and his pops was tripping, thought somebody was going to murder him?
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, knocked on his motel room door that night.
Oh yeah.
They got Covington out of that arena so fast though. You see that shit? They fucking grabbed him and like shoved him right to the back. It's fucking kind of dumb.
But what wasn't that kind of iconic though? Like that image is like embedded in my head right now of that fight of them rushing him out and all these bottles and stuff being thrown at him. I mean, if you're looking for a way to market yourself, that's awesome.
Can somebody get a dictionary and show Jesus the word iconic and what it iconic these Roys, Jack? Colby T's Covington is nowhere near the word iconic. I don't give a fuck what he did in Brazil that night.
Wait. Fred, you're telling me that the UFC is not going to use that as a marketing to market him next time? They're not going to show that clip of him being like literally policed out of there.
Listen,
like they're going to use that. That's going to be used from now on. Every time Colby Covington.
I think it goes nowhere. I think about a week or so you won't hear no more about Colby Covington.
Really?
He fights again.
Really?
I don't know. Ben Saunders is keeping his name in the news mix, and
that shit was tight. That shit was tight. I like that.
Ben, here's the thing, because attached to the thing with Covington, right? He's kind of alienated himself from ATT. Talk about the founder was a fucking con artist and a bunch of shit, and Killer B was not having it. He was upset as fuck. So, and not to mention, I mean, Bigfoot Silva, a lot of Brazilians. I mean, even Walt Harrison, even Brazilian. He was just like, hey, he alienated a bunch of people at ATT. I don't know what to tell you. So, I mean, it wasn't career suicide, but I mean, it bumped his name up, but he definitely pissed off a ton of teammates, especially with the shit he said about the founder.
Listen, I hate him and want to see him get beat up like Floyd Mayweather. No. So at the end of the day, it worked. I didn't care about Colby Covington one way or the other going into that fight. It was kind of cool because he was fighting Damian Maia, but real talk, I tuned in for Damian. Now, Colby's next fight, I'll tune in for Colby, even if it is to see him get his face punched in. So it worked.
Yeah. If he did fight Woodley would fuck his shit up.
I mean, at this point, I don't care who he fights. I'm tuning in, hoping he gets thunderstruck. So it like low key made me a fan in a weird way. You know what I'm saying? Even if it is to see him get beat, like Floyd's still the highest draw on pay-per-view because everybody wants to see him lose.
Yeah. Now on the YouTube comments here, Liam says, still, do we want to be seen as a normal sport or as outcasts? The organization has to condemn this kind of thing for mainstream viability. You agree there, Fred?
On what point? What are we talking about?
On basically like shutting that shit down. The UFC telling guys like Colby, be like, hey, don't fucking do that. You know, if you want to be mainstream.
I don't know, man. I mean, obviously, we want to be mainstream in that we want to generate as much money and notoriety for the fighters as possible, but we definitely want to keep our unique persona in that, like, I don't know, man. It's a touchy subject. I don't give a fuck as a casual / hardcore MMA fan. Like, I don't personally care about, and it's different too, man. The faggot slur, I can see people getting their panties in a bunch, and I kind of understand people. You need to chill, or you're going to get fined, or whatever. The shit that Colby Covington did, whatever, man. That shit was so like cartoonish in a way. Like, I'm kind of surprised the Brazilians let that dude get him that riled up. To be honest with you, like, he knows exactly what he's doing, and he's trying to get a rise out of him. It's a little different. I don't think that really. What they gonna do? Tell him to be nice to the Brazilians? What the fuck?
Yeah. Raider says, I don't know. I like the rawness. And then Priya goes, my favorite part was him rejecting the translator. I remember that. Now.
We don't need a fucking translator. But MMA has always been the outcast sport. I mean, fighters are fucking crazy. Fighters are fucking nuts. And us hardcore fans, we're fucking outcasts. If you really think about it.
Yeah.
MMA is always going to be the outcast sport, man. It's a fucking blood sport. Gladiators.
It's true. It's different. It's definitely different. You know, it ain't fucking tennis, man. It's unlike any other one-on-one sport there is, for sure. So, I mean, you would imagine that the type of people who compete in the sport are fucking unique personalities. So, love them or hate them, this is what you get. And listen, man, fuck it, right? Everybody ain't gonna be George St. Pierre or Wonder Boy, man. It is what it is. This is you gotta cast the characters, man. You pick and choose who you like and who you want to see get beat up. Why can't we just root for Jorge Masvidal to get beat up now, right? Like Colby Covington. Do I want to see him get banned from the sport? Fuck no. This is the sport where we punch each other in the face. I just want to see him take a beating. You know, Jorge, if I'm a gay man and it really offends me, I can't wait to see your next one. He fights fucking in 2 days. I just become the biggest fucking Wonder Boy fan in the world, right? If I'm really offended, I'm like, fucking A, thunder kick him right in that fucking shit talking mouth of his.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Do that in this sport, right? What more ultimate justice? Fuck that courtroom. You don't like it? Root for Wonder Boy.
Yeah. For those that want to send Jesse links and all that stuff, his is this one right here, Sport 1983. That's his Twitter handle. Send him stuff there. Anyway, Priya says you have to be nuts to get in the cage and fight with almost no rules. What did it used to be called? No holds barred. Pretty much. Exactly. That's what it was at the beginning. And honestly, the guys that are fighting now are the ones that saw those, right? The first couple UFCs where it was fucking psycho shit. Those are the guys that are fighting now. So it's, it's kind of, you kind of got to expect it. But I'm kind of with Liam on this. You got to regulate it a little bit. Like
sure.
Yeah, like someone pointed out, I forgot who it was, and I apologize if I don't say your name, but someone said, Chael Sonnen used to call out like 2-3 people at a time and then say Brazil had no internet. He said the Nogueira brothers try to fucking saddle a bus and feed it a carrot. That's funny. And Brazil has no internet. Okay, but Brazil having no internet to you're all filthy animals is a large jump, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but people listen. Chael said that and he got rewarded for his behavior, right? Like he became a big draw. People aren't stupid. They see that and they play on. And listen, it just worked for Colby. Make no mistake about it. There's some young little dickhead out there right now tearing a page out of now Colby Cheese Covington's playbook, and they'll be pulling this stunt. Don't be surprised if you see somebody pull some bullshit at the next UFC. This is just going to be par for the course.
Connor done it. Nobody said shit. He talked about turning Aldo's favela into a sweatshop. Nobody said shit. They laughed like a motherfucker. You never heard nothing about that.
Yeah. But I also think it was the context and what it was said. I think the way Colby said it is what is inciting all this. Chael, everything he said, you could always take it with like as a joke. I mean, he was always saying he was undefeated, that he was a champ. What was that one with Helwani? Where he was like, yeah, I ran and won by a landslide or something. And they were like, well, nobody opposed you. He's like, yeah, that's true. But, I still won.
Sorry, Jesse, I just got to say while we're talking about this, the funniest shit ever is when Chael was talking about fucking getting tapped by Anderson. Hey, that motherfucker said, I thought that just meant he won the round. I thought I thought I still won the fight with a straight look on his mug. I'm like, Chael's a beast.
You got to hand it to him, man.
Yeah, sorry.
Jesse, you're saying?
No. That's it. I think that's the context that he said like in such a hateful, like just pissed off way, and then his apology really didn't help him any when he said that he was apologizing to, any what was it, filthy animals that he might have offended with comparing them to Brazilians. So I mean,
yeah. Well, that's bullshit. It's a double-edged sword with him. He said he tried to apologize. He said that shit after he came down the tunnel and they threw the shit on him. He's gonna die, blah blah blah. But before the build up to the fight, you said the same shit. They was already pissed. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that and say I said all of that because when I was coming down the tunnel, they did this, blah 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 blah. You had already said the shit before the fucking fight. Of course, they was gonna fucking do that shit to you.
Is Colby married?
I don't know.
Well, say, goddamn, did he really ruin a chance to get all that fine Brazilian pussy by running his mouth? He couldn't have came up with a different way to promote himself.
If he's not married, he ruined it already.
You ain't getting no Brazilian booty now. Fuck that strategy. We had to come up with something different.
Yeah, the sparring partners have been holding on to chokes and fucking cranks a little longer now.
Damian Maia's a big dork. I can find something else to talk about other than Brazil. I need to get some trim while I'm there. Let's talk about hair or some shit like that.
Yeah, Raider says, Fred, I want to see broken arms and more Heather Hardy masks.
Yeah.
Look, that's one of the reasons people watch. What are you going to do?
It is.
All right. And then Priya says, oh, okay, so we're kind of doing what Colby wants, and he's kind of irrelevant until we look forward to him against a striker.
Yeah.
But he's getting what he wants. That's a good point that she made. He's getting what he wants. Everyone's talking about him, but Jeremiah, you think that's going to be gone next week?
Kind of. I don't see him. He's not the likable heel. You know what I'm saying? Okay. He don't have that it factor to me. That's just me. I mean, I'm just a hick from the sticks, you know what I'm saying? So everybody's got their own opinions.
Attitude was fuck it, these motherfuckers love it to be a soldier. Must maintain composure.